Okay, let's jump right in. You know that feeling, whether you're on your feet all day or maybe stuck in a chair,
Hmm.
that little worry in the back of your mind about what your job's actually doing to your body, especially, your joints.
Yeah, and it's probably not just you being paranoid.
Right. So we often think work is either like really tough physically or pretty safe.
But the sources we dug into really show that, well, every kind of work environment throws its own unique curveballs at our joints and
Yeah,
muscles.
exactly. So for this deep dive, we've looked at information on, well, everything from ergonomic tips to the real nitty-gritty of how different jobs impact your joints specifically.
And our goal really is simple.
Yeah, we want to arm you with the knowledge and, just as importantly, practical advice to actually protect your joint health, no matter what your daily grind looks like.
We're going to look at how even those jobs that seem harmless, office jobs,
Yeah.
can have some surprising downsides.
And then compare that with the more obvious risks of really physically demanding work. Okay, let's tackle the office first. A lot of us are in that situation, right? And maybe don't fully grasp the subtle ways our bodies are getting stressed.
That's a key point. The info we reviewed really emphasizes that just because you're not breaking a sweat doesn't mean your joints are completely in the clear.
Like prolonged sitting. That seems to be a huge one, a kind of silent threat.
Absolutely. It's kind of fascinating, this idea that being still is automatically safe. But staying put for hours combined with those small repetitive movements.
Like typing and
Yeah.
using the mouse all day.
Exactly. Thousands of tiny movements. And the data we saw, it indicated that over half of people using computers for more than 6 hours daily report some kind of wrist or hand discomfort.
Wow, over half. So we're talking things like carpal tunnel.
Carpal tunnel
Yeah.
syndrome, yeah, where that nerve in your wrist gets pinched. And also de Quervain's tendinosynovitis that affects the tendons over on the thumb side of your wrist.
Ouch. Okay. Makes you think about all those clicks adding up. And it's not just the wrist, is it? Just sitting there, maybe, slumped a bit.
Yeah.
That affects your whole body.
Oh, completely. It's not just feeling a bit stiff later. Think about typical office posture. Head forward,
Guilty?
shoulders rounded, maybe slouching a bit.
Uh-huh.
Our sources detail how this compresses the cervical spine that's your neck. It stiffens the thoracic spine in your upper back and really strains the lumbar spine, your lower back.
And it's more than just muscles getting tired.
Much more.
Yeah.
Sitting actually boosts the pressure on your spinal discs by about 40% compared to standing.
40% just from sitting.
Yep. And long term, that can contribute to those discs wearing out, well, prematurely. Disc degeneration.
Okay, that really puts it in perspective. And what about our hips? They take a hit too.
You really do. It raises this question about what happens when we're seated like that for so long. The sources explain how your hip flexors, those muscles at the front of your hips, they get shorter, tighter. Meanwhile, the muscles that are supposed to support your hips can actually get weaker.
So it's a double whammy.
Kind of, yeah. It leads to less flexibility in your hips, can cause your pelvis to tilt forward, anterior pelvic tilt, and ultimately just puts more pressure on the hip joints themselves. It's all connected.
Right. Okay, so we've painted a maybe slightly alarming picture for office workers.
Huh. Might have some people shifting in their seats right now.
Exactly. But the good news is the info we have also points to loads of really practical things people can do. Where do we start?
First step is just thinking about your workspace, making it neutral for your body. Any weird angle adds strain, right?
Okay.
So monitor at eye level, avoids that neck craning, keep your wrists straight, neutral when typing, not bent up or down.
Makes sense.
A decent chair, one that supports the natural curve in your lower back, that's huge. And feet flat on the floor. Or use a footrest if you need one.
It's all about supporting your body's natural alignment, minimizing those awkward positions.
Precisely. And then something so basic, but so vital. Just move.
We get up and walk around.
Absolutely. Movement breaks are like non-negotiable. Even just standing up for 30 seconds every half hour helps.
30 seconds, that's doable.
Totally. Maybe some gentle neck stretches, shoulder rolls every hour to ease tension. And that 20-20-20 rule.
Oh yeah, I've heard that for eye strain. Look 20 feet away for 20 seconds every 20 minutes.
That's the one. Great for your eyes, yes. But it also forces you to just shift your body, break that static posture. It's a quick physical reset.
Good point. Okay, and what about those wrists? Constantly working away.
Few things there. Keyboard shortcuts can seriously cut down on mouse use. Some people swear by a vertical mouse or maybe an ergonomic keyboard. Changes the hand position.
Right, more neutral.
Exactly. And don't underestimate just simple wrist stretches, flexing, extending, rotating gently throughout the day.
Okay, lots of actionable stuff for the office folks. Now, let's shift gears to those jobs we know are physically tough. The risks seem obvious, but what specifics did the sources highlight?
Well, it's clear that joint challenges in labor-intensive roles are often more immediate and, yeah, sometimes more severe. We're talking major overload on weight-bearing joints.
Like knees.
Knees especially. They can handle up to 7 times your body weight when you're doing something like climbing stairs.
7 times. Wow, that makes stairs feel different.
Doesn't it? Ankles take a beating too, especially on uneven surfaces. And hips are really vulnerable during any kind of unbalanced or asymmetrical lifting.
And it's not just the heavy one-off lifts, is it? It's the repetition, too.
Exactly right. Think assembly lines, construction, mechanics, doing the same motions over and over and over.
Thousands of times a day, probably.
Easily. Our sources pointed to things like shoulder impingement. That's where tendons in the shoulder get pinched during overhead work. Elbow tendonitis from repeated gripping or twinting.
Tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, that kind of thing.
Those are the common names, yeah. And lower back issues, too, like irritation of the facet joints, those little joints that let your spine bend and twist from all that bending and twisting on the job.
Okay. And you mentioned something else, vibration. That's maybe less obvious.
Really important one, actually. Using power tools, heavy machinery. That vibration travels right into your joints.
How does that cause damage?
Well, there's hand-arm vibration syndrome, which can mess with the small joints in your hands, but also whole body vibration. Think truck drivers, heavy equipment operators.
Right, feeling it through the seat all day.
Exactly. And that can actually speed up the wear and tear on the discs in your spine.
Man. Okay, so just like with office work, there must be specific ways people in these demanding jobs can protect themselves.
Definitely. And mastering proper body mechanics is absolutely number one.
Lift with the legs, not the back. The classic advice.
Classic for a reason. Keep the load close to your body. Crucially, avoid twisting while lifting. Turn your feet instead.
Good tip.
Use mechanical aids, dollies, hoists whenever possible. Don't be a hero. Also, rotating tasks is smart. Uses different muscle groups. Lets others rest. Alternating between heavy and lighter tasks if the job allows. Prevents that constant overuse of the same joints.
And what about gear, like support wear?
Yeah, wearing the right support can make a big difference. Good footwear is essential. Proper arch support, cushioning. Compression sleeves for joints prone to strain, like elbows or knees. And knee pads are a must if you're kneeling a lot.
Makes sense. Protect the pressure points. Okay, so we've looked at office versus physical labor, but the sources also talked about universal strategies, right? Things everyone can benefit from.
Yes, exactly. These are like the foundational pillars for joint health, regardless of your job. Maintaining a healthy weight is huge.
Why is that so critical for joints?
Think about the load. For every extra pound of body weight you carry, it puts about 4 pounds of extra pressure on your knees.
4 pounds per pound. Wow. So even losing a little bit helps.
Makes a real difference, yeah.
Yeah.
And staying hydrated. Sounds simple, but
Why water for joints?
your cartilage, that cushion in your joints, is roughly 80% water. When you're dehydrated, it literally loses some of its cushioning ability, its shock absorption.
Okay, like keeping things lubricated and plumped up.
Got it.
And muscles.
Strengthening the muscles around your joints is vital. They act like support structures. A strong core stabilizes your spine. Good shoulder stability helps the whole upper body. Strong hips and legs are crucial for everything below the waist.
So it's not just about the joint itself, but the whole support system.
Exactly. And finally, don't forget recovery. Rest is important. Using ice for acute inflammation, maybe even contrast therapy, alternating hot and cold for more chronic stuff, helps with circulation and healing. Letting your body repair after the day's stress.
Right. Okay, that covers the physical side. Now let's talk internal support, nutrition. It's interesting how food plays a role.
It really does. Our sources highlighted a clear link between certain nutrients and joint health. Omega-3 fatty acids are a big one.
Found in fish oil, right?
Fatty fish like salmon, yeah. Also walnuts, flax seeds, they're powerful anti-inflammatories. Aiming for about 1 to 3 grams daily seems beneficial.
Good to know. What else?
Vitamin D. Crucial for calcium absorption, which means strong bones. And low vitamin D levels have actually been linked to increased joint pain.
Where do we get vitamin D, sunshine?
Sunshine helps your body make it, yes. Also fortified foods like milk or cereals and supplements. Most adults probably need around 1,000 to 2,000 IU daily, but it varies.
Okay. And vitamin C, I think of that for colds.
It's essential for making collagen. Collagen is a key building block of cartilage. Plus, vitamin C is a great antioxidant. You get it from citrus fruits, bell peppers, broccoli. Aiming for 75 to 90 milligrams a day is the general target.
So basic nutrients have a direct impact. What about supplements specifically marketed for joints, like glucosamine?
Yes, there are a few that show potential, and this is really important, always talk to your doctor or a healthcare provider before starting any new supplement.
Good disclaimer. Okay, so glucosamine and chondroitin.
They're natural parts of your cartilage. Some research suggests they might help slow down cartilage breakdown, possibly ease pain, especially for moderate to severe osteoarthritis. Typical doses are around 1,500 milligrams of glucosamine, 1,200 of chondroitin daily.
Okay. What about collagen itself as a supplement?
Collagen peptides basically provide the building blocks for cartilage. Some studies suggest they might improve joint mobility and reduce pain. Type 2 collagen is the one most studied for joints. Doses are usually higher, maybe 10 to 15 grams a day.
Interesting. And turmeric. That comes up a lot for inflammation.
Right, specifically its active compound, curcumin. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, and yes, it may help reduce joint pain and stiffness. Taking it with black pepper helps your body absorb it better.
Oh, really? Why black pepper?
Black pepper contains piperine, which significantly boosts curcumin's bioavailability. A common dose might be 500 to 1,000 milligrams of curcumin with about 5 to 10 milligrams of piperine.
Clever trick. Any others worth mentioning?
MSM, that's methylsulfonylmethane. It's a source of sulfur, which is important for joint structures. It might help reduce inflammation and support cartilage, too, often taken in doses of 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams daily.
Got it. Lots to consider there, and again, check with a doctor first. Now, even if people do all this, sometimes joint problems still happen or get worse. When is it time to actually seek professional help?
That's a crucial point. Don't just ignore persistent symptoms. Key warning signs would be pain that lasts more than 2 weeks despite home care.
Okay. What else?
Any noticeable swelling, redness, or warmth around a joint. Pain that's bad enough to wake you up at night. Or if you suddenly lose your normal range of motion in a joint.
Can't bend or straighten it like usual?
Exactly. Any of those warrants getting checked out. Early intervention can really stop minor issues from becoming major long-term problems.
Right. So pulling it all together, the main takeaway from everything we've looked at seems to be, well, that job-related joint pain isn't necessarily inevitable, is it?
Not at all. It's not something you just have to grit your teeth and bear. There's so many proactive steps, things we can all do, whatever our job, that can make a genuine difference to our joint health down the line.
Absolutely. Whether it's tweaking your office setup, being more mindful about how you move in a physical job, or adding in some of those universal strategies or nutritional supports.
Taking action now really can help protect those joints for the future.
So for everyone listening, maybe just pick one thing or two. One or two practical ideas from this deep dive that feel achievable for you, and try implementing them starting, tomorrow.
Even those small, consistent changes really do add up over time.
Definitely.
And, as you think about all this, the connections between movement, posture, even nutrition, it kind of prompts a bigger question to chew on, doesn't it?
Yeah. What's that?
Well, considering how interconnected it all is, what small, consistent changes in your daily routine could potentially give you the biggest long-term benefits for your overall well-being, maybe even beyond just your joints? Something to think about.